You probably don't realize how much you affect your employees and how much they affect you. Let's talk about it. I'm Adrian from Adrian's Avenue, and I give you information that's rich, relatable, and relevant that you can use with your everyday skills as a leader. Let's jump right into it. The equation is quite simple. You have a leader, you have followers, which make up a team. This team is put together to achieve a certain goal. If the leader and the followers are on the same page, the goal gets achieved a lot easier than if they're not on the same page. If the leader and the followers are working together, the goal gets achieved a lot easier than if the leader and the followers are not working together. The equation is simple. Once the teams are established, people generally like working together. They like pulling together for a purpose, a joint purpose that they can accomplish as a team, something that they can accomplish as a team and not as individuals. And with you as a leader, if you are respected by the team, it makes it a much better situation. Now, contrary to popular belief, it is not always about a paycheck. Some people come to work and enjoy coming to work because of the purpose that they accomplish together as a team. So just don't believe that 100% people are just coming to work just to get a paycheck. Now, you as a leader have a lot to do with how that team atmosphere is created. You control that for the most part. You allow that for the most part. And so it is incumbent upon you to make sure that you maintain a team atmosphere. Even in a virtual setting, you can still maintain this team atmosphere by what you let go on during the meetings, the Zoom calls, the telephone calls that you make with them, the individual meetings you have, coming together, finding innovative things to do virtually or in the office. But you as a leader have a lot to do, a lot of control with the team coming together and keeping that atmosphere positive. Now, there is one area that you can immediately make an impact on your employees, how you affect them, and that is high quality interactions. And this may be in your one-on-ones while you're talking to them, maybe pulling them aside, talking to them. It could be sharing information with them, sharing your talents with them, such as one thing that I like to do is I like to talk to them about health situations, good things to eat for their bodies. I like to talk to them about working out. I like to talk to them about finances, everything that I'm interested in. And I also am interested in photography. So sometimes we have conversations about photography that has nothing to do with the work, but these are high quality interactions that I'm having with my team members and just getting to know them better, drawing closer to them in a way that's outside of just the production or the quality things having to do with work. Even telling stories and sharing stories with the employees is a high quality interaction. Another high quality interaction that you can have with them is sharing life lessons, things that you don't necessarily have to share with them. None of these you have to share with them, but in order to build that relationship and affect the team in the positive way that you want to, these are things that you can do. Life lessons such as something that you may have learned along the way that you can teach them and maybe help them excel quicker in their career or excel quicker in life. Such as I talk about finances all the time and some life learnings that I've had over the years, and this is helpful to them if they're just starting out or having a new family, some things that they may want to look at, something in the stock market or something with a savings plan or investments, anything like that. So I have these high quality interactions with the team members just for a benefit for them and to let them know that I really truly care about them beyond just the work. I can remember how I was affected as an employee when I first started working at my job. One of the guys who hired me, because of him, I was hired. And then when I was promoted into management, because of him, I was promoted into management. And this is something that without him being on my side and just putting in good words for me, probably would not have happened as quickly as it did happen. And so I felt indebted to him. And even though he did something for me that I could not do for myself, the rest of my days working at the company while he was there was more dedicated to, since he did this for me, I wanted to do a good job for him. rather than just doing a good job for the company. He was the one I was focused on. And so this is a way that the employees and the leader can interact, and that's how we are affected by leaders and how leaders affect employees. So up until now, we've been talking about the positive ways that leaders affect employees and how employees affect leaders. But I want you to affect me by hitting that like button and that subscribe button so that you can remain notified as soon as the latest information becomes available to you. Now, while we like to think that everything is positive, how leaders affect employees, sometimes it falls on the other side, which is not so pleasant. Leaders can have a negative impact on employees by the way they treat them, by the atmosphere they create and allow to happen. And so take, for instance, if you ask a team for some feedback and the feedback is not so good, you cannot take it personally. You have to accept the feedback and try to do better, but brush it off of your shoulders. Do not take it personally, because when you do something like that, they may stop giving you honest feedback and you'll never learn and you'll never grow if this happens. And so you don't want to put them in that situation. Also, if someone speaks out in a meeting when you're asking them for information or feedback and it's not so positive, you cannot just blame it on, well, they're a negative person or they're not a team player. I see this happen so often, and that may not be the situation. It may be something that the person just needs to get off their chest. They may be a team player, a great team player, but if you ask for the information, have big enough shoulders to accept the information that your team is giving you. As you can see, this can be a balancing game, trying to get the best out of the folks on the team in production, the work effort, the work ethics, and trying to remain positive, keep a team atmosphere, and letting people speak up when they need to speak up openly and not get, upset about that. It's a balancing act, and it does take toll on you. Your employees affect you. When you go home at night, you don't just shut off and forget about everything that happened at the office or everything that happened in the virtual situation. These things affect you, and they can remain on your mind and something that you may need to work through as you grow as a leader. I will admit sometimes we bring things on ourselves as leaders. There is a difference between respecting the position of leadership and actually respecting the person in the leadership position. And so what we want to do and what we want to look at is to make sure we're giving them an opportunity to respect you as a person and not just the position of leadership. In leadership, I was always the type that never wanted to go around saying, I'm the leader, I'm the supervisor, I'm the boss. They know who you are if you act like the leader, the supervisor, and the boss. You don't have to say that. In my mind, I didn't recite that to my team. I acted like a leader. I acted like their manager or their supervisor, however they needed me to respond to them. And they knew exactly who I was, and they respected me as a person as well as a position. So this is one thing that throughout my career, I never had to say, repeat over and over what my position was, because if you act like what your position is, they will treat you like what your position is. Well, that's it. It's been a different type of conversation, but hopefully you've gotten some tips out of this conversation about how leadership affects employees. And we have feelings just like our employees have feelings. Things affect us. We get hurt. Things affect us just like they affect the employees. But the thing that we should always remember is, as much as we would like for our employees to choose us as a leader, we want them to choose us as a leader. If we were taken away from them and a bunch of leaders were lined up, we would want our group of employees to choose us as their leader again. Well, most of them at least. But that being said, you still have to do the right thing at the right time. And even if your employee does not choose you as the leader, down the line, they will remember the lessons that you've tried to instill in them and the things that you've taught them that will help them. They may not give you the credit for it, but you are planting seeds and the seeds will grow and produce.